In the heart of the countryside, cradled by ancient hills and echoing with the whispers of old woods, lay the village of Hollow Creek, a place untouched by the rush of modern life, where each dawn greeted its inhabitants with the soft murmur of the creek and the cheerful chirping of birds. The villagers, a close-knit community of simple means and simpler pleasures, prided themselves on their peaceful existence, far removed from the chaos of city life. Their days were marked not by the ticking of clocks, but by the rhythm of nature, the rise and fall of the sun, the changing of seasons. Life in Hollow Creek flowed like the gentle stream that meandered through it, slow and steady. The villagers engaged in farming, weaving, and other quaint crafts, their routines deeply intertwined with the land they loved. Children played in the meadows, their laughter mingling with the rustle of leaves, while the elders sat under the shade of large oak trees, sharing stories that seemed as ancient as the stones beneath their feet. This harmony with nature was a testament to the generations of families who had lived and thrived in the bosom of Hollow Creek. But Hollow Creek was not just a relic of the past. It was a sanctuary for those seeking refuge from the relentless pace of the outside world. People like Emily, who found solace in the old-world charm and the mysteries that lay in the unexplored corners of the forest. The village, with its thatched roof cottages and winding paths lined with wildflowers, was picturesque, seemingly a canvas painted by the hand of tranquility itself. Yet beneath this idyllic surface, stories and legends brewed, tales of haunted woods and eerie lights, of whispers carried by the wind, stories that were passed down through generations, adding a rich layer of mystique to the village's simple beauty. It was this blend of peace and mystery that made Hollow Creek not just a place to live, but a place to explore, to dream, and perhaps to discover. Emily, with her curious mind and insatiable thirst for knowledge, was like a wildflower growing on the banks of Hollow Creek, vibrant and full of life. A young botanist, she was drawn to the untamed beauty of the flora that thrived in the surrounding forest. Her passion for plants was not just a hobby, it was a quest for understanding the secrets held by the natural world. She spent her days cataloging plant species, some of which were unique to the region, her notebook brimming with sketches and notes. Living with her older brother Jake, Emily found her perfect counterpart. Jake, protective yet supportive of his sister's endeavors, provided the grounding she needed. Their cottage, on the outskirts of the village, became a sanctuary for their shared dreams and aspirations. It was here that Emily's botanical experiments took shape, her greenhouse a testament to her dedication to botany. The bond between the siblings was fortified by their shared love for nature and their intrinsic connection to Hollow Creek. Emily's reputation as a botanist grew, her expertise sought after by academics and nature enthusiasts alike. Yet her heart remained in Hollow Creek, amongst the whispering trees and hidden paths. Her discoveries contributed significantly to the local community, bringing a subtle pride to the village known for its unassuming way of life. Emily's endeavors highlighted Hollow Creek as a place of hidden wonders, slowly altering the perception of the village from merely a sleepy hollow to a reservoir of natural beauty and scientific significance. Despite her successes, Emily remained humble, her spirit always yearning for the next mystery to unravel. It was this relentless curiosity that led her to the dusty attic of their cottage one fateful afternoon, an act that would soon transform the tranquil life she knew. Her life was about to take a turn, guided by the fluttering pages of an old map that whispered promises of adventure and discovery. On a day painted with the vibrant hues of autumn, Emily ventured into the seldom visited attic of their cottage. The attic, a relic filled with forgotten treasures and echoes of the past, held the scent of old wood and memories. As she sifted through boxes filled with antiquated books and heirlooms, her fingers brushed against the coarse texture of an old map. It was tucked away in an old leather-bound chest that seemed to hum with secrets. The map, worn and delicate, beckoned to Emily with its faded lines and cryptic markings. The discovery of the map was not just a moment of curiosity, it was a call to adventure. The map pointed to an uncharted area deep within the Hollow Creek forest, a place shrouded in rumors and old wives' tales. The forest, known to the villagers as a bewitched land where the unexpected could be expected, suddenly became a canvas for Emily's aspirations. The map was a puzzle, and Emily, with her innate love for mysteries, could not resist the lure. It whispered of hidden places, of secrets veiled by the dense canopy of the woods. Excitement coursed through Emily as she traced the paths marked on the map, her mind racing with possibilities. Could there be undiscovered plant species waiting in the hidden depths of the forest? What secrets did the land hold, and what mysteries could she unveil? The map was not just a piece of paper. It was a gateway to potential discoveries that could elevate her career to new heights. But more than that, it was a chance to fulfill a deeper yearning, an adventure that could quench her thirst for the unknown. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky with streaks of orange and purple, Emily made a decision that would change not just her life, but the entire fabric of Hollow Creek. She knew the journey ahead would be fraught with challenges, but the call of the wild, the allure of the unknown, was irresistible. With the map as her guide, Emily was poised to step into a world where the lines between legend and reality blurred. A world where the curse of Hollow Creek awaited her arrival.
Jake, look at this. There's a whole unexplored area just beyond the known edges of Hollow Creek Forest.
All right, but we're not doing this alone.
We need a solid plan, but count us in.
Emily's discovery of the map didn't just spark curiosity, it ignited a fire of adventure within her. The first person she turned to was her brother, Jake, whose protective instincts were always finely tuned to her needs. In their cozy living room, lit by the gentle glow of a lamp, Emily unfolded the map on the coffee table, her eyes gleaming with excitement. Jake, although initially skeptical, couldn't ignore the thrill in Emily's voice. He studied the map, tracing the lines that seemed to dance with possibility. Emily nodded, her mind already racing through a list of companions who could handle such an adventure. Together, they decided to involve their childhood friends, Mia and Tom, known for their spirited natures and love for the wild. Mia, with her fearless zest for exploration, and Tom, with his knack for solving puzzles, were the perfect additions to their team. When approached, both friends didn't hesitate. The promise of adventure was too enticing. Tom, ever the strategist, asked for the map, already plotting their route. The team of four, each bringing their own strengths and courage, sat around the table, the map spread out before them like a treasure chest waiting to be unlocked. They talked late into the night, their voices a blend of excitement and resolve. Each understood the risks, but the lure of uncovering Hollow Creek's secrets, of stepping where no one else had dared, was irresistible. They were not just friends. That night, they became fellow adventurers, bound by a shared quest.
Emily was meticulous about including botanical tools and journals for documenting any new plant species they might discover. Narrator, preparation was crucial. The next few days were a flurry of activity as the team gathered supplies and equipment necessary for their journey.
Jake focused on safety, ensuring they had first aid supplies, ropes, and enough provisions to sustain them.
Mia, with her adventurous spirit, took charge of the camping gear.
Tom delved into books and online forums, gathering information about the terrain and possible challenges they might encounter.
Their base was Emily and Jake's cottage, which soon resembled a miniature outpost, brimming with maps, books, and gear. Each item was checked and double-checked, their importance underscored by the unknown challenges ahead.
We have to be prepared for anything, Jake reminded everyone, his voice tinged with the weight of his protective role.
We'll be fine, she assured him, her confidence stemming from the trust in her team.
We stick together no matter what, Mia declared, her statement echoed by nods from the others.
We need to keep track of our progress and stay connected, he stated, setting up a system that would allow them to navigate and communicate effectively.
As the day of departure approached, the mixture of anticipation and apprehension was palpable. Their final evening was spent reviewing the map and their plans, each member quiet, lost in their thoughts of the upcoming journey. They were as ready as they could be, their spirits bolstered by the shared promise of adventure and the unbreakable ties of friendship. The morning of their departure dawned clear and cool, the sun casting long shadows through the trees surrounding Emily's cottage. With backpacks shouldered and a final check of their equipment, the group set out at dawn, their steps firm and purposeful. The forest of Hollow Creek, with its towering trees and whispering leaves, seemed to watch them enter, its shadows deep and inviting. The air was crisp, filled with the scent of pine and earth, as if the forest itself was breathing alongside them.
Keep your eyes open, Tom reminded, his gaze scanning the surroundings for any of the landmarks they had discussed.
Emily, with her botanist's eye, took note of the unique flora, her excitement growing with each new discovery.
Mia, ever vigilant, kept her ears tuned to the sounds of the forest.
Jake led from the front, his presence a reassuring constant.
The deeper they went, the more the forest seemed to close around them, the air growing heavier, the sense of isolation more profound. Whispers of the curse of Hollow Creek echoed in their minds, a reminder of the legends that had long been part of village lore. Yet, with each step, their resolve deepened, driven by the mystery laid out before them and the bonds that tied them. It was a journey into the unknown, into the shadows of the forest and the shadows of their own fears. But it was also a journey of light. Light from the bond of friendship, the thrill of discovery, and the indomitable human spirit. As they moved through the forest, each member of the group felt a profound connection, not just to each other, but to the path they had chosen. It was a path fraught with challenges, but also with the promise of revelation. In the heart of Hollow Creek, beneath the watchful trees and the ancient soil, their adventure was just beginning. Days turned into nights, and still, the forest held them in its embrace. The deeper they ventured, the more oppressive the atmosphere became. The air grew thick with the scent of damp earth and decaying leaves, a constant reminder of the cycle of life and death that played out beneath the towering trees.
Did you hear that? Mia whispered one evening as they huddled around a crackling fire, their faces illuminated by the flickering flames. It sounded like someone, or something, was watching us.
It's just the wind playing tricks on you, he said, his voice calm but his eyes scanning the darkness beyond the firelight.
Emily, however, felt a shiver run down her spine. The forest was alive with unseen eyes, she was sure of it.
The map, their only guide through the labyrinthine woods, offered little comfort. Its faded lines and cryptic symbols hinted at a path, but the way forward was often obscured by fallen trees, tangled undergrowth, or the shifting shadows of the forest canopy.
Emily found herself relying more and more on her intuition, her senses heightened by the strange energy that permeated the air. The forest was speaking to her, she was sure of it, but its language was one she was only beginning to understand.
As the days wore on, the group's initial excitement began to give way to a growing sense of unease. The forest was testing them, pushing them to their limits. Their supplies were dwindling, their bodies weary from the constant struggle against the unforgiving terrain.
We have to be close, he muttered one evening, staring at the map as if trying to will it to reveal its secrets. We have to be.
Their perseverance was rewarded, though not in a way they could have expected. The forest floor, previously a tangle of roots and undergrowth, gradually gave way to a clearing.
The markers, she breathed, her fingers tracing the outline of the symbols in her mind. These must be the markers from the map.
Runes, he murmured, running his fingers over the weathered surface of one of the stones. These are ancient runes. I've seen similar markings in some of my grandfather's books on ancient history. He pointed to a particular sequence of runes, his voice filled with excitement. This one speaks of a hidden temple, a place of power and ancient magic.
The mention of magic sent a fresh wave of unease through the group. They had all heard the whispers, the legends of the curse that haunted Hollow Creek, but until now, it had all seemed like the stuff of campfire stories. Now, standing in the shadow of these ancient stones, the reality of their situation struck them with full force. They were not just on a botanical expedition. They were trespassers in a place where ancient powers still held sway.
We have to find it, she said, her voice trembling with a mixture of fear and determination. We have to find this temple.
Guided by the runes and Emily's intuition, they navigated through the remaining stretches of the forest. The air grew heavy with anticipation, the silence broken only by the sound of their own footsteps and the frantic beating of their hearts. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, they emerged into a clearing bathed in an ethereal, otherworldly light. Before them, Shrouded in mist and partially obscured by a curtain of cascading vines, lay the entrance to a subterranean temple. The air crackled with unseen energy, raising goosebumps on their skin and sending shivers down their spines. The stones that framed the entrance were ancient, weathered by centuries of wind and rain, yet still bearing the weight of their history with stoic dignity. The runes, once cryptic symbols on a map, now seemed to pulsate with an eerie life of their own, as if beckoning the group forward into the unknown. A sense of awe and trepidation washed over them as they stood at the precipice of their discovery. This was no ordinary ruin, no mere collection of stones and mortar. This was a place of power, a gateway to a realm beyond their understanding. The air thrummed with a palpable energy, a silent symphony of forgotten magic that resonated deep within their bones. Even Jake, a man of logic and reason, felt a primal fear grip his heart as he gazed upon the ancient portal. Despite their apprehension, a collective sense of purpose settled over the group. They had come too far, endured too much to turn back now. The allure of the unknown, the promise of unraveling a mystery that had haunted Hollow Creek for generations, spurred them onward. With a shared breath, a silent acknowledgement of the dangers that lay ahead, they stepped across the threshold and into the embrace of the ancient temple, the gateway to a realm beyond their wildest imaginings. The entrance to the temple, concealed for centuries by nature's patient hand, yielded to their touch. The air within was stale and cold, heavy with the scent of damp earth and something ancient and indefinable. As they stepped across the threshold, the light from the outside world seemed to retreat, swallowed by the encroaching darkness. The weight of the temple, the weight of its secrets pressed down upon them, a tangible presence in the suffocating air.
We need light, Jake's voice echoed in the cavernous space, a reassuringly human sound in the face of the unknown.
He fumbled for his flashlight, the beam cutting through the oppressive gloom like a beacon in the night. The light revealed a narrow passageway descending deeper into the earth, the stone steps worn smooth by the passage of countless feet, or perhaps by the relentless caress of time itself. With each step downward, the air grew colder, the silence more profound, amplifying the sound of their own breathing and the frantic beating of their hearts.
Do you think anyone has been down here since? Mia's voice trailed off, the unspoken question hanging heavy in the air.
The thought sent a shiver down Emily's spine. To be the first to disturb this place after centuries, to awaken whatever slumbered in its depths, filled her with a sense of both awe and trepidation. She clutched the map tighter, its familiar touch a source of comfort in this alien environment. The passageway opened into a vast chamber, its ceiling lost in the shadows far above. Jake's flashlight beam danced across the walls, revealing intricate carvings that seemed to writhe and shift in the flickering light. They depicted strange creatures and ancient rituals, a visual language both beautiful and unsettling. The air hummed with an unseen energy, a palpable force that sent shivers down their spines. They were intruders in a sacred space, a place where the veil between worlds felt thin and fragile. As they ventured deeper into the heart of the temple, the weight of history pressed down upon them. The chamber, illuminated by their flickering lights, was a treasure trove of artifacts and relics.
This place, it's incredible.
Pottery shards lay scattered on the floor, their once vibrant colors faded by time. Broken tools, remnants of a forgotten way of life, rested against the walls. The air was thick with the dust of ages, each particle a tiny testament to the passage of time.
This must be centuries old, maybe even older.
Tom reached out, his fingers hovering over a delicately carved stone tablet. The tablet, cold and smooth beneath his touch, seemed to radiate a faint warmth, a whisper of the energy that still clung to these ancient objects. It was as if the past itself was reaching out to them, eager to share its secrets.
Look, even in this darkness, life finds a way.
Emily, her botanist's eye drawn to the smallest details, noticed something peculiar. Growing from a crack in the stone floor, a single, delicate flower pushed its way towards the light. Its petals, a vibrant shade of blue she had never seen before, seemed to glow with an inner luminescence. It was a powerful reminder that even in the most desolate of places, hope could blossom. They pressed onward, their senses heightened, their footsteps echoing in the cavernous space. The air grew heavy with anticipation, a sense of drawing closer to something significant, something profound. The path led them towards a large circular chamber at the heart of the temple. The circular chamber, shrouded in an otherworldly silence, was the heart of the temple. A sense of ancient power, of slumbering energy, emanated from its very walls. In the center, bathed in a single beam of moonlight that pierced through a crack in the ceiling, stood an altar. And upon that altar, resting on a bed of faded velvet, lay a crystal orb. It pulsed with an inner light, a beacon in the darkness. The orb, the source of the legends, the key to the curse of Hollow Creek, lay before them. It pulsed with an eerie luminescence, casting dancing shadows across the chamber walls. An invisible force seemed to radiate from it, drawing them closer, beckoning them forward. As one, they moved towards the altar, their footsteps echoing in the sudden silence. Emily, her hand trembling with a mixture of fear and excitement, reached out and touched the orb. The moment her fingers brushed against its smooth surface, the temple awakened. The ground beneath their feet shuddered, the walls groaning in protest. The air crackled with energy, and a blinding light erupted from the orb, throwing them backwards against the cold stone floor. When their vision cleared, they saw him, a towering figure. The artifact. A towering figure, wreathed in ethereal light and shimmering shadows, now stood between them and the altar. His eyes, burning with an otherworldly fire, fixed upon them with a mixture of fury and sorrow. He was neither human nor beast, but something ancient, something powerful, something born of the very essence of the temple itself. The guardian of Hollow Creek had awakened.
Who dares disturb my slumber?
His voice, deep as the rumbling of the earth itself, echoed through the chamber, shaking the very foundations of the temple. The air crackled with energy, a visible manifestation of the guardian's rage. The shadows on the walls danced and writhed, twisting into grotesque shapes that seemed to reach out towards them with grasping claws. Fear, primal and instinctive, surged through the group. Emily, scrambling back from the altar, felt a wave of dizziness wash over her. It was her touch that had awakened this being, her curiosity that had unleashed this fury. The weight of responsibility pressed down upon her, heavy and suffocating. She had to do something, anything, to appease the guardian, to right the wrong she had unwittingly committed.
We meant no disrespect. We came seeking knowledge, not harm.
Jake stepped forward, his voice surprisingly steady despite the tremor that ran through his body. He held his hands up in a gesture of peace, his eyes never leaving the guardian's burning gaze. His words hung in the air, a desperate plea for understanding in the face of overwhelming power. The guardian's fiery gaze swept over them, his expression unreadable. The air crackled with tension, heavy with the threat of violence.
Her heart pounding against her ribs, Emily knew they had to act quickly before the guardian's fury consumed them. She scrambled back, her mind racing, her fingers frantically flipping through the worn pages of the old map. There had to be something, some clue, some way to appease this ancient being.
A small, almost insignificant detail, hidden amongst the faded lines and cryptic symbols, suddenly leaped out at her. It was a series of runes, etched in the corner of the map, almost invisible to the naked eye. Emily's heart leaped with a spark of hope.
"There's a ritual," she gasped, her voice thin and reedy in the oppressive silence. "A way to appease him."
The others turned to her, their faces a mixture of hope and disbelief.
A ritual? Are you sure?
Emily nodded, her confidence growing as she studied the runes, their meaning slowly revealing itself to her. "We have to perform it," she urged, her voice gaining strength. "It's our only chance."
But what if it angers him further?
The look on Emily's face, a mixture of determination and desperation, gave him his answer. They were in too deep to turn back now. They had to trust in Emily. Trust in the knowledge she had gleaned from the ancient map.
"What do we need to do?"
Emily, her voice gaining confidence with each passing moment, guided them through the intricate steps of the ancient ritual.
They gathered the elements required, a handful of earth from the chamber floor, water collected from a dripping stalactite, and a single luminous petal from the blue flower that bloomed defiantly near the entrance.
Each element, imbued with the essence of the temple, represented a piece of the balance the guardians sought to protect. With trembling hands, they laid their offerings upon the altar, their eyes never leaving the imposing figure of the Guardian.
The air crackled with anticipation as I, my voice gaining strength and purpose, recited the ancient words I had deciphered from the map.
The runes, once cryptic symbols, flowed from her lips with surprising ease, their power resonating through the chamber. As the last syllable faded into the silence, a profound shift occurred.
You have honored the old ways.
The Guardian's fiery gaze softened, his rigid posture relaxing slightly. The shadows that danced menacingly on the walls retreated, their movements becoming more fluid, less threatening. The oppressive weight that had cloaked the chamber lifted, replaced by a sense of peace, of ancient wisdom acknowledged and respected. A look of acceptance, of weary relief, settled upon his ancient features. The light that emanated from him, once harsh and fiery, now pulsed with a gentle warmth. A wave of calm washed over the chamber as the Guardian's anger subsided.
The curse, it's lifted.
The crystal orb, once pulsing with an unsettling light, now emitted a soft, warm glow, bathing the chamber in an ethereal radiance. It was as if the very heart of the temple had sighed in contentment, its ancient magic appeased by their gesture of respect. The air, no longer thick with tension, felt lighter, cleaner, as if a weight had been lifted from their chests.
The shadows that had clung to the edges of our vision receded, revealing the chamber in its full glory.
The Guardian, his purpose fulfilled, turned his gaze upon them one last time. His ancient eyes, once filled with fury, now held a glimmer of gratitude, of ancient wisdom passed on to a new generation. With a slow, deliberate nod, he faded from view, dissolving into the shadows as seamlessly as he had appeared. The only evidence of his presence was the lingering warmth that permeated the chamber, a comforting reminder that they were not alone in this ancient place.
As we approached the altar, drawn by an invisible force, the true treasure of Hollow Creek was revealed. The orb, bathed in its soft light, had shifted, revealing a hidden compartment beneath.
Inside, nestled on a bed of faded velvet, lay a collection of ancient scrolls and artifacts, the true legacy of the temple, untouched by time. Their return to Hollow Creek was greeted with a mixture of relief and jubilation. News of their adventure, of their encounter with the Guardian and the lifting of the curse, spread through the village like wildfire.
The villagers, once wary of the forest and its secrets, now looked upon us with a newfound respect, their eyes filled with a mixture of awe and gratitude.
The artifacts recovered from the temple, carefully preserved and cataloged by Emily and Tom, became the centerpiece of a newly established museum in the heart of Hollow Creek. People came from far and wide to marvel at these relics of a forgotten past, to catch a glimpse of the magic that had slumbered for centuries beneath the forest canopy. Hollow Creek, once a quiet backwater, was transformed.
The influx of visitors brought with it a much-needed economic boost, but more importantly, it breathed new life into the village, reminding its inhabitants of the rich history and hidden wonders that lay at their doorstep. The village, once content in its isolation, now embraced its newfound connection to the outside world, its inhabitants eager to share the story of Hollow Creek and its ancient guardians.
Emily, hailed as a hero, found herself thrust into the spotlight. Her knowledge of botany, once a solitary pursuit, was now sought after by academics and researchers from around the globe. She traveled extensively, sharing her discoveries and insights, but her heart remained in Hollow Creek, drawn back to the familiar comfort of her cottage and the whispering secrets of the forest. The adventure in Hollow Creek Forest had changed them all, each in their own way.
I've learned to embrace the unknown, to trust in Emily's judgment and the strength of our bond.
My thirst for adventure only intensified, finding myself drawn to new challenges, my spirit yearning to explore the hidden corners of the world.
This experience has shaken my belief in the purely rational, opening my eyes to the possibility of a world where magic and science coexisted in an intricate, often baffling dance.
I find myself standing at a crossroads. The world beckons, offering fame and recognition for my discoveries. Yet a part of me, the part that has always found solace in the quiet beauty of Hollow Creek, yearns for a simpler life, a life rooted in the earth, in the familiar rhythms of nature.
In the end, Emily found a way to honor both her passions. She established a research facility on the outskirts of Hollow Creek, a place where she could continue her studies of the forest's unique flora while remaining close to the people and the place that held her heart. The facility became a beacon for botanists and researchers from around the world, drawn by the promise of groundbreaking discoveries and the opportunity to work alongside the woman who had dared to venture into the heart of Hollow Creek.
The old map, its secrets revealed, remains in my possession, a treasured reminder of the adventure that changed our lives forever. It hangs on the wall of my study, its faded lines and cryptic symbols a constant source of inspiration, a reminder that even in the most ordinary of places, extraordinary adventures await those brave enough to seek them out.
And so, life in Hollow Creek went on, forever changed by the events of that fateful summer. The curse that had haunted the forest for generations was lifted, replaced by a sense of peace and renewal. The village, once shrouded in shadow and whispers, now stood as a testament to the enduring power of curiosity, courage, and the unbreakable bonds of friendship. The legend of Hollow Creek, passed down from generation to generation, served as a reminder that even in the darkest of times, hope could blossom in the most unexpected of places.